what is it that you really want? Now, the reason why I ask this question is because thinking about this myself, I realized that I'm able to easily say what it is that I don't want. You know, it's easy for me to call out the things that I'm not happy with in my life. What caused me to think is, what is it that I really do want? And for so many people that, say, I don't want this in my life, I don't want that in my life. Like, it's okay for you not to want those things, but what you say and what you think about actually ends up becoming what you get. And here's what I mean by that. So in Genesis, it talks about how God spoke light into existence, and he said it was good. He told the earth to bring forth, and it was good. And God basically spoke all of these things into existence. And for me reading that, what I actually see it as an opportunity to, or see it as a way or illustration of God actually showing us what we have the power to do. Because it did say that God created us in his image and after his likeness. So if he created us in his image and after his likeness, and you believe that, what that means is there's a little bit of God in you. And what I mean by that is that we have the opportunity to change our situation. Now, there are some things that we just can't change. Like, you can't change who your parents are. You can't change who your siblings are. You might not be able to change some of the certain things on your body, even though I know a lot of people go and they do certain things. But, when you're born, you shouldn't be changing things. But there are things that you can change. Like, you can change your environment around you. And how do you do that? You change the environment around you by putting yourself in an environment that is going to help you grow. You do that by reading different books. You do that by saying different words. You do that by imagining different things. And when we're younger, if you think about it, when everybody goes to kindergarten has all these nice colors. They have all of this fun stuff. You get to have nap time and all this other stuff, which they need to bring nap time back. But you get to have nap time and all this other stuff. But then what happens when you go to first grade? All of that stuff gets taken out. Then you start to have line leaders. You have these bland walls. You're basically sitting in the classroom. They're telling you not to stand up when you're a kid. And for many of us, if you don't consciously think about that, you have been programmed not to think. I was reading this book called How to Own Your Mind. It was by Napoleon Hill. And he was having an interview with Dale Carnegie, and he basically recorded the conversation and wrote it down. And Andrew Carnegie said, he said, so many people go throughout life and they don't know how to use one of the most powerful things that we were given, because we were taught that it wasn't important. And that most powerful thing is imagining. Whatever you can imagine, whatever you can paint in your mind, you have the opportunity to make it become real life. So the way that you start doing that is start thinking about the things that you actually do want, and stop thinking about the things that you don't want. And sometimes to get there, you may actually have to think about the things that you don't want, but you need to reverse it. Instead of saying, oh, I got so much debt and I want to get out of debt, switch it and say, man, I'm so happy that I'm debt free. I'm so happy that I don't have any bills. I'm so glad that I'm financially independent. Instead of saying, I wish I had more money, because the way that you say things are planting seeds for the future of your life.